Hi everyone, this is Nadia, award-winning author, award-winning mentor, clairsentient psychic, founder at Spartanite. So I just finished a really cool brunch today, and there were lots of interesting topics that came up at the table, and there was something that I was mulling over for the last few days, and it's given me really a perfect opportunity to shoot a YouTube video and cover this topic. Lots of people have asked me about this topic as well, and I try and explain it at the best as possible, but it got to the point where I'm just like, you know what, let me just do a video on it. So today's topic is why sex is not casual and why sex is the alchemical marriage. So sex is everyone's favorite topic. You know how you have like, what are your hobbies? People are eating, sleeping. It should be eating, sleeping, and sex, because that's everyone's hobby, whether they want to admit it or not. But sadly, we live in a world where from a very young age, due to culture, due to religion, due to patriarchal shame for women about enjoying their body, they're not allowed to say it because they feel ashamed, or you know, what will a man think if you publicly admit to it? Will he think you're slutty? Will he think you're this? So there's so many restrictions and limitations that come on it. Now, this is a video that's very, very driven to Western society, maybe not so much from the cultures that I'm from. They need to express or liberate themselves more of it. But there's this whole notion of degeneracy and lunacy in Western society that, you know, sex is casual, you can find one-night stands, you can have hookups. First and foremost, I want to give a disclaimer that this video is really not about me being judgmental about anybody's sexual preferences, who you sleep with, how you sleep with them, why you sleep with them, where. I really don't care. But the point I want to make, being an occultist and being somebody that's psychically gifted, is that there is no such thing as casual sex. You can mentally lie to yourself that sex is casual, but it's not. Now, what's the reason? There are a couple of reasons, and I'm going to try and cover them for as much I can do in this video. So, it will be the same if you're gay or lesbian, but for this video's sake, I will keep it man and woman, heterosexual, because it might just be simpler to understand. We all have masculine and feminine energy, and you can apply it to yourself as and when necessary. So, man, a woman join up together, they have sex, right? You have fun, that's wonderful. But what happens afterwards? What sex does is that when you are in the moment of arousal, it opens up your chakras. So your chakras are your 7 energy wheels in the body. Now, each person carries an energy signature, and there are so many people that I say that be very discerning and be very careful about who you choose to have sex with, because you take on that person's energy. Eventually it gets to the point, if a couple's just having sex all the time, they become one unit. That's the reason religions have got it right when they say don't have sex before marriage. They've got it. What they're really trying to say in essence is that sex is marriage. That's kind of probably how I want to describe it as. And the reason I say that is because we have poles in the body. On the sexual energy battery level, we have poles. So with the man, basically, his negative pole is in his heart, his positive pole in his cock. The woman, her negative pole is in her yoni or her vagina, and the positive is in her heart. When it melds together, it's like north and south pole, which is why people say sexual chemistry, sexual electricity, the energetic battery is like it's running all the time. Why? Because you're exchanging energy. Now, if you sleep with somebody who does not practice spiritual cleaning, who is not mindful of what they eat, not mindful of their thoughts, their energy is low, depressed, dark, and heavy, you become that person. Lots of people would like to say, oh, well, you're exaggerating. No, I have known women who have come to me, they have slept with what I would consider an unclean man. And an unclean man for me would be somebody that doesn't spiritually clean, he's not mindful, you know, he's just, everything's just, you know, in his head, in essence. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the guy, he's probably just not mindful or aware of his own energetic input. Possession, demonic possession, the jinn possession spreads very fast through this type of sex. You can take on somebody's karma. Like, lots of women don't realize that when a man comes inside you, you have not only had his DNA, his DNA is now imprinted within your body. But more than anything, you take 9 months of a man's karma within your body. You take his energy within your body. You're literally receiving him inside your body. And of course, this goes with men as well. I mean, I'm not saying the energy doesn't go vice versa, but obviously a woman is a receptacle quite literally. And whatever you're pouring into that woman, well, is whatever you are. So lots of people think that sex is this really cool thing that you can just go and have it and do it with anyone. Well, you attach cords, you take on energies from people, and those energies can mess up and fuck up your life. And I've seen this firsthand with people. I've seen this with clients. I've seen this so much that I really want to point out and say that once you've had sex with somebody, to a very large degree, you're married to them. Now, that may sound not blasphemous, because like I said, religion's got it right, but they kind of put all these shame rules and everything to control your sexuality. What it is more than anything is that people struggle with the empirical knowledge of sex is literally bonding you to one person, which, you know, why I say to women, be very careful. Even men, it doesn't mean that I'm encouraging men to go sleeping around, because it shows signs of low self-worth. It's sad that a man feels he needs to prove himself in society and amongst other men and his peers that he slept with X amount of women to feel relevant. If you don't spiritually clean, if you don't cut your cords, if you don't maintain yourself, you have all these people's energies literally now running through you. I've known people who have lost their jobs, lost their businesses, become possessed, become crazy, take on manic energy, take on unclean energy. They just literally lose their shit because they've had this exchange, and sexual exchange is an energetic exchange. Women, when you come, basically, a guy makes you come, or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, in bed or wherever the hell you are, women release something, a chemical or a hormone called oxytocin, which means it bonds you to the man. Yeah. Maybe a man, I always say, can separate love and sex. With women, it's very difficult, and it's because of the oxytocin. A lot of Western society has tried to lie to women and tell women that we can be like men, but your body, your biology, your womb is telling you another story. So, just be very careful and be very mindful of who you choose to have sex with, what is their energy, and what happens when that energy starts to flow throughout you. So, you know, I just don't want to get into a whole 9 yards of this entire video, but I really want to make this point clear, that if you are mindful, you are conscious of who you are, you're very spiritually aware, don't just go and sleep with anybody for the sake of it because, well, you want to scratch an itch. That you might end up with a lot more than what you've bargained for, simply because you know, you didn't practice mindfulness. Now, I'm not saying that you have to create sex or have sex as this really holy and sacred thing you can't touch. By all means, have fun, enjoy yourself, multiple orgasms, whatever you want to do. Just pick the right partner. And also, one more thing before I conclude, please don't rush into, lots of women say, I mess up relationships because I sleep with a guy too soon. That's low self-worth, and you think that if you don't sleep with a guy, he's gonna leave you or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You know, when you have value and worth for yourself, build on understanding and getting to know somebody as a person, so that when you do share your body with that person, it's not just mindless, like, oh, I went to McDonald's, I scoffed this, and I was just mindless about whatever it is. It is a nice, beautiful exchange where you feel whole. You don't want to open a bottle of wine and then there's no wine inside it, or a box of chocolates and there are literally no chocolates inside it. And that's what happens when you have sex minus a loving connection, or you have sex that's just aimless, and you know, there's a sense of emptiness that even though it was very physically enjoyable or gratifiable, there's still something that's missing, and that's the connection, and that's the empty energy that you can take from someone else. So I would really want to keep this short, but I want to be able to highlight that thing to people and say that make sure you're mindful of who you're sleeping with, because sex is the alchemical marriage. You become the person you sleep with. 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 I want to repeat myself as many times as possible, because the person you're having sex with either elevates you, like they rise up your kundalini, you feel amazing inside yourself based on who they are, or they completely drain you. That's the reason people feel sick, nauseous, empty, suicidal after sex a lot of time, because they've slept with somebody who's well, they have nothing to give. Vice versa, if you sleep with somebody who's mindful, they practice spiritual clearing, they're on their A game when it comes to like really being aware and conscious, you're gonna feel like, oh my god, this is addictive, this is amazing, but in a good way, in a crack cocaine way that's healthy and not something that totally drains you and leaves you for dead. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love to know if you have any questions around this quite sensitive area that people often come and ask me. And just remember, you become the person you sleep with. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.